It's a big Friday, baby. Very big Friday, as Bitcoin has a major chance to actually confirm some pretty significant breakouts that will likely lead into the next couple weeks, maybe even next month and a half of price action, and essentially what to expect if this particular breakout is confirmed, which can happen as soon as today on the 5-day and weekly closure. Other than that, I want to once again give the highlight to the Apex exchange, a big highlight to them actually, as they've been steadily picking up a lot of volume in their books recently. So if you are looking for a decentralized exchange alternative, there is an affiliate link in the description below. It awards you 5% off of your trading fees for the lifetime of your account. There's no expiration on it, and yeah, that might be of value to you. All right, sweet. Let's just jump right into it. Starting off right in over here with the Gaussian channel. Big focus on this one. We've been following this one for quite some time. Basically, we're looking at the interplay between the mean band and the top side of the Gaussian channel, ever since Bitcoin broke above it, which was back in March, actually, of this year. And as you can see, Bitcoin's play between the top side and the mean band. And as long as we observe that relationship without Bitcoin breaking back below the mean band, the most likely thing to happen, at least historically speaking, was a break above the top side of the Gaussian channel. Now, the top side of the Gaussian channel is currently coming in at basically $29,000, depending upon whether you're on a 5-day or a weekly. I'd say the 5-day is actually a little bit less enticing here, because the top side of it is about basically $30,000. Or sorry. No, that's not right. It's 29,500. Yes, that looks right. Okay, beautiful. So assuming that Bitcoin does close above that region today, that would confirm an actual breakout from this. And to be fair, anytime that we've seen Bitcoin even enter into this relationship, and I'll go to the index chart here for just more history, we can see that Bitcoin has gone on for a pretty nice run when we've observed that the Gaussian channel has first been red, then two, Bitcoin has, played between the tops and the mean band, which is what we've kind of observed for the past few months now. And then three, once that breakout does occur, that's what kind of propelled this run over here. That's what propelled this run over here. That's what propelled this run over here. And if we were on the 5-day, there'd be another major run over here as well, which I guess we can just quickly go to. And, same sort of idea right there as well. So CME is going to have a chance to do that as soon as today, because the 5-day and weekly close today. So I would say as long as Bitcoin's above 29,550 or 29,500 for CME's closure today, that would confirm the breakout. And at that point, if we go ahead and reference all of the past iterations where we've seen that relationship present, we can see that that breakout has actually led to a pretty significant average move. So if we go for the 5-day, there's actually been 4 prior iterations throughout the full history of Bitcoin. The average return based upon the first break of the top side of the Gaussian channel, after all the other conditions that we spoke about earlier were met, which they are in this case, the average return was actually 47%, which is pretty fucking amazing for that first move over the course of about 3 weeks. So that's where I'm kind of getting the next few weeks of price action, because some a little bit more, some a little bit less, but usually around that region. Of course, whenever we're talking about these sort of results, we're going to be interpreting some variance within them. And as far as the standard deviation goes, 17%. So that would give us a pretty large first standard deviation, basically between about 30% on the lower end, and on the upper end, as much as like 64%, which is pretty significant here. Do keep in mind that we really don't have too many prior iterations, so I'm just kind of doing the best with the data that we have available to us. There's a few other confounding things as well, which maybe we could go over on Sunday's video, as there'll be a nice macro time allowed for that, or maybe Monday. Maybe we'll make macro Monday. But in this case, if we were to see a break of this, which, so far so good, with 14 hours, 41 minutes, and 43 seconds left to go until the 5-day and the weekly close, on the lower end, 30% move would put Bitcoin where? That would put Bitcoin at $38,000 or so, kind of around the same area that Bitcoin broke down from in April of 2022, after kind of basing around this region for, it seemed like, the first 4 months of 2022, actually. Putting this consolidation right here, so that actually be a very, very sticky area, most likely. In fact, I suspect that if I do put on a Fibonacci retracement, what do you know? The 618 comes in around that region as well, about a little bit above $39,000 actually. So in that case, good confluence right there. Of course, there would be a few points of interest along the way, namely the 0.5 at $32,500, and then again, a big one actually as far as I'm concerned, because we do see that there is a major gap on CME coming in from the May breakdown of last year, which is actually at about 36,000 bucks. So you'd have a few areas of interest along the way, 32 and a half, 35/36, somewhere in there. And then you got 38, 39, essentially, is kind of where I'd be looking for, assuming that this does happen. Now, I would also say, however, that, or there's two major things to be saying. One is that you will notice that after that major run, there's been some pretty severe corrections. So, after this current run, I would be looking for probably like a 30% correction, even on this iteration over here, which doesn't look like all that much as far as the downside move goes. That was actually 47%. So it doesn't look like much, but it certainly is. This one over here, let's see. Yeah, this one about 27%, as you can see. So, again, while I do think that things generally continue from here and probably go on for a pretty nice run, assuming that this condition is met, still a long day left to go and crazier things have happened, like a $500 pullback. But ultimately, if that is confirmed, well, yeah, I would be looking for a pretty significant run to occur, followed by a pretty significant downfall to occur at the same time. So, just got to keep the ducks all in one row. Also, in the more near term, assuming that Bitcoin does close above the top side of the Gaussian channel, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one open up on a pullback coming into next week. Definitely possible. I don't have strong opinions on this. It's just, if it did pull back down to like 29,000 bucks even, that would be fine. I'd essentially be looking at like a bounce from that region. So I would be cognizant of that as well. It doesn't mean that it's going to like literally go green dildo mode exactly from here to the heavens and beyond in like 1 nanosecond. It's probably going to take, a few weeks, as the data would suggest. But at the same time, coming into next week, yeah, if it pulled back down to 29,000 bucks first and then continued, that'd be completely fine. Just don't want to see it close below the top side of the Gaussian channel going forwards from here, assuming that it clears that level today. Anyways, also of note and also of interest here, we do see that the 5-day time frame, which again is closing today, does have potential to put in hidden bullish divergence. Also getting that 5-day RSI back into the bullish control zone for the first time in a couple months. Spot price action also has the same sort of 1, 2, 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence variety over there as well. What's the word that I'm looking for? Confluential factor here, for propelling this move into the deeper 30s. What else do we have? I think now would be a good time to get into the sort of shorter term timeframes. For this, we can just go ahead and reference the 4-hour HPDR indicator. Bottom side of the current 50% range is about 29,400. Let me just double check on that one just to see exactly. Yeah, about 29,400. On a closing basis, top side of the current range coming in about 31,000 bucks even or so. Aligns pretty damn well, again, on the bottom side with that Gaussian channel level. So, as long as Bitcoin's above there, generally good. Doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't come back down and test it. That's fine. Just don't want to see it start to close back down below there. Otherwise, I would be looking for a deeper retracement into the maybe even like the mid or upper $28,000 territory and then come back to it after that. Do we have anything on the daily to be aware of? Same thing as yesterday, basically. Yeah, same thing as yesterday. I do still generally favor the Boo laws as long as the Boo laws are holding above 28,500 or 28,600 on a daily closing basis. Obviously, we have the average of the current range coming in, around that $31,000 region. Bitcoin does start to reclaim that, or not reclaim, but trade back above that region. I would be looking for this move. Likely work its way towards 33 or so, somewhere between 32.5 to 33. And like I said, there's going to be stops along the way, obviously, but yeah, for right now, this would kind of be the Boo law's chance to really do something of significance. Anyways, going to the lower term timeframes or kind of matching this up with the lower term timeframes, go ahead and reference stochastic momentum starting with the weekly. The weekly will actually turn back up to the upside freshly within the bullish control zone right here. I'm talking about this one right here. Assuming that today does close above 28,740 on CME again. Going into the 5-day time frame, we can see that this is also going to be having a fresh cross the upside, again, within the bullish control zone. Pivot right here is a little bit higher at 29,130 basically. 2-day time frame, again, we identified a nice Nice trend line coming in from the last few major lows going back to May of 2022, getting the low right on over here more recently. And that's showing vertical pressure as long as Bitcoin's above 26,800 actually. Daily time frame is going to be vertical as well, above 26,100. Same sort of trend line coming in from the March lows actually right there. Whoops, got it already. Okay, so we can get rid of this one. Blah, 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 blah. Going to the 12-hour time frame, what do we see? We see 12-hour time frame getting really critical right here. Going to be showing downside momentum actually if Bitcoin does close below 30,500. 6-hour time frame also going to be showing downside momentum below 30,500 as well. Again, I would take note of the extreme volatility on this one too. 4-hour time frame is going to be showing downside pressure below 30,700, and hourly is going to be showing actually upside pressure above 30,200. But nothing super conclusive there on the lower term timeframes. Yesterday we were kind of looking at the same thing as like, hey, does it pull back on the short term timeframes? Probably yes. We did get a nice pullback from like 30,600 all the way down to 29.6, 29.7 on CME. I don't really have strong opinions on the short and medium term timeframes for right now, honestly. My big opinions are on the daily, 2-day, 5-day, weekly. These things are what's taking over right now. Lower term timeframes likely just amount to, lower term timeframe moves, obviously. But yeah, I think that's a good place for me to be leaving off on this particular video. I think we got a lot done in this one. Cool. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun, sirs and zers. I'm going to be signing off on that note. As always, wish you the best of us. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully Saturday.